me switch over and see if we got audio here. Don't want to waste the effort. So hang tight. If you are in this little setup here, I'm just checking audio. I got to go to my other computer here and just take a peek. It says we're live streaming. Beautiful. Got some audio. Got some video. Hey, potential and past customers, how are ya? I am just gonna make a quick video here. I don't know how quick it'll be. It's a live hangout, whatever, however long. It is cool. Maybe some people I know will join in. We got one viewer. What's up, my friend? Gonna work on this 2003 WRX. One of the guys that works at the local dealership, Honda dealership here. I know it's not a Honda, but figured I'd share with this WRX. This back window is really filthy, so I'm gonna clean this thing the old school way. Little soap and water and kind of scrub and squeegee. And yeah, so I figured I would share this car today. You never know, there might be some people out there that might have something like this or a Subaru of some sort that they want done. Obviously, I do a lot of work for the Subaru dealership up the street here, and it's what the Wild Automotive Group, as many here know. So I run into this car frequently. I just did one not recently. It's got a few little challenges, this unit here. It looks like somebody on the inside has replaced like they've taken out the interior panels and put some psychedelic like fur on them or something. So I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. It looks like it could potentially, a lot of times that stuff will harbor extra dust that'll poof out on you when you get in there and start, moving around. And so hopefully that's not going to be an issue. Another thing too is just I don't know how long it's been in there, so it potentially could be something that is like dry rotted and just fluffing around and posing potential contaminant risk, I guess is what I'm getting at. So in the past I've done stuff like that. I had a car that I did like some flex stone on the interior pieces, so it all looked like some sort of granite or some sort of rock kind of thing. It was cool, but it chipped off really easily. So I don't know, kid stuff when you're a younger guy doing stuff to cars. So anyways, that's kind of one of the things I'm looking at with this car. The other thing is these windows are frameless. So we want to make sure that we get a real nice, tight, clean edge on those. And I just figured I'd make a video. I had my computer hooked up. I did a little paint protection film video earlier on another vehicle that I'm working on. You can see it here. Dodge Ram. I did bumper. I got some of it apart. The hood, paint protection film. It's hard to see, obviously, because it's white. So anyways, that's that. And so I figured, you know what, I'm already working on this thing, so I might as well, I already had the computer set up, so I might as well go ahead and make a video. And so I'm gonna cut some pieces here. You can check that out. I think I got the right film in there already. Monocarbon 20. We're doing Reno monocarbon 20%. Obviously Reno window films. Carbon-based, extruded, manufactured right with the color right in the film itself. So that's a plus. No chance of dying, or I should say no chance of fading because of dyed film, dyed polyester. So I'm a big fan of that. Carbon-based, made with the color right in it. And so it's a real nice color stable film. And you can check out Reno window films. If you go to filmproficient.com, you can look at the on my homepage. I got a video that I made explaining the different films, and then there's right next to it, or above or below it, depending on which kind of device you look at the website, But there's a link to the manufacturer's website where you can do all kinds of studying and really figure out exactly what it is that you want on your particular vehicle. I mean, there's a lot of options nowadays. It's, you know, I know back in the day you could just kind of know the shop and hey, they do good work and take your car there. But nowadays people are, you know, savvy. They want to know what exactly is it that they're going to get. And so I know that a lot of people, just about everybody now, wants to go and do research and figure out what they are going to get and how much it's going to cost. And it's something I recommend that my customers do so they can feel confident. You know, what I found is that if people are willing to go and you know, do a little research and put a little time in, and they can feel a little bit more confident when they bring their car in, and they won't have to have a sort of feeling like I don't know what I'm going to be getting, and maybe I'm going to be, you know, getting ripped off and getting a junky film. You can feel more confident about what it is that you're spending your money on. So that's a good thing. I'm just rinsing off my little scrubby pad here. I want to make sure there's no dust or dirt in there as I start this this new job. Kind of want to take every little precaution I can to make sure that we get a good install. So I'm going to grab this piece of film here and I will lay it out on the car. We'll do some shrinking. We'll talk about that. And the goal, obviously, on this particular channel, the goal is that a potential customer can come through, watch some videos, check out what we do here, get a good understanding of who I am and what I do, and that way when they bring their car and they can feel confident again in the services that we provide. So information is power, right? And it's nice to come in armed up with knowledge and feel confident and not have to second guess who's working on your vehicle. So I'm going to put my little bit of moisture down there. This wing is kind of in my way and you can't really see exactly what I'm doing at the moment. I think I'll move that camera though so you can get a little better angle on this here. We have the capability. So let me do that. Let me move this camera up close and you don't have to look so much at me in the back of my head, and you can get a good idea of what the process looks like here. We'll get a good close-up, and that should be nice there. And it's like the camera wants to turn. So hopefully that'll be cool. It's a little close, hey? And let's see what we can do here. Yeah, whatever. Let's just get some, close up of working the film here on this side, and then we'll figure out what we want to do next with that thing. Try to share, give you some insight here and let you see how the process works. And a lot of times people have never seen window tinting before. And so I am right now using a button, like a button from your pants. And I got it on the glass, in between the glass and the blade. And the purpose is just so, and you can, no, you can't see that right there. The purpose is to prevent from scratching the window as I cut this film. Now I did cut the actual finished piece on my plotter, but what we got is I want to, while I'm shrinking this, I want the piece to be a little bit oversized. And what that'll do is that will, as I'm shrinking, the film has a tendency to be damaged close to the edge. So if I have this piece oversized a little bit, as I shrink, then that damaged portion won't be part of the finished product. And it's just a little precautionary step just to make sure that we get a really good clean install and we don't waste no film. And this is somewhat of a curved window. Excuse me. So I think I'm gonna move that camera. I'm really not liking where it is. I'm gonna put it on this tripod here. So just give me a second. I'm gonna put it on this tripod so you can get a little bit better all-around view of things as we move along here. I kind of really don't want to mess around too much with the actual making of the video, but it's always hard. Easier said than done, I guess. I don't want the car to take longer, but I do want to share and have something good to see here. So let me just see it now. Am I better off here? Yeah, what the heck? I think I'll go right here. That's gonna give me, as it focus in there. That's cool. That's cool. That'll work. So hang tight. Just gonna grab my heat gun here. Put my Michael Jackson glove on, which is my little shrinking glove that helps me shrink the film, and we'll get some shrinking done. Now, yeah, if you're in the market for some window tinting, you can check out the website, filmproficient.com. Filmproficient.com. Price list is right there. Check out the price list, the different film options. Like I said earlier, you do some research, figure out what it is that you want. The main goal here is to get this film shrunk up the same shape as the glass. So when I go to lay it inside, it lays down real nice and we don't have any bubbles. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. This is really a common car that young guys, or maybe even older guys I guess, will fix up and have kind of like a daily driver, but more like a sporty race car type of a feel. This kid, he just went ahead and spent some money getting this car tuned, and he's got some kind of handheld sort of like information cluster, I guess you'd call it, with tachometer and his boost and all his vital signs, I guess, for the turbo and whatnot. I don't know a whole lot about that, but it's kind of cool. He said there's a red light on the dash so you keep it under 3,500 RPMs. Now, I know that I like to drive and I like to go a little fast, and that's 3,500 RPMs. And this car is like driving like Miss Daisy, I guess. It's like driving like my grandma, and that's hard to do. So I think he's just trying to make sure I don't beat the car, which I wouldn't. But it's hard to keep it under 3,500 RPMs and not feel the turbo and feel the power a little bit. But I did do as he wished. Kept it under 3,500 RPMs so he could feel comfortable about that. So we're going to finish this side here. Got the other side shrunk up. It's not really very complex. I mean, obviously I've done several thousand cars, so I make it look easy. But let's say you wanted to try this out and get yourself a roll of film and do a little practicing. I mean, if you wanted to do a decent job on your car, you probably have to do this back window about 10 times. The first 9 times being sort of practice. If you're really good with your hands and you're really able to do things creatively and work with your hands, maybe 5 times. But the process of putting the piece in the back window is a challenge. This big piece, that takes a lot of practice to manipulate that piece and get it where it belongs. And so a lot of times people will just forego that and bring it into a shop and get it done and get a warranty and feel good about what they got and carry on with what they do. But I know there's people out there that are like I was, and they're going to want to give it a shot. So more power to you. I know if you're like me, you can watch videos like this and kind of get a good idea about how to do something and then duplicate what you've seen. So not really the intention of this video. I'm just kind of trying to showcase what it is that we do and maybe present some how the process goes with this particular car. And if you have a car like it, you'll see how the work goes and what's going to be done. And you'll know that we've encountered this car and know how to deal with everything involved with it and produce a good solid job. Now we got that piece shrunk. That's pretty straightforward, pretty easy stuff. Not really rocket science, not a lot to it. I'm gonna get a drink here. I'm curious who's watching. If you guys want to, you could say hi here in the chat. I'd like to know who you are, where you're from, what you're doing. If you don't say anything, then you'll be cursed and you'll die when the video ends. I'm just kidding. You won't die. You won't be cursed. But don't be scared. It's probably somebody I know anyways, because the only people that are subscribed to this are probably customers and maybe friends or people I know. So say what's up. Give a little shout out there in the chat window. If you're a customer or somebody else, a stranger, let me know maybe what you got, what kind of car you'd like to see done. We can try to find a similar or exact model to share in another video. And right now I'm off camera. I'm just getting my piece set up here just on the glass. So I'm not sure of the shot at the moment, but we got that piece set up there. So it's all ready to be installed. Let me see how close this is. Is this going to work? Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah. I will show the installation from this angle here. Why not? All right. So hang tight. What we're going to do next, clean the outside just so I don't have any sort of contaminants or little smudge marks or anything that might confuse me as to the cleanliness of the glass before I bring the film in. I want to make sure this outside is clean. That way I won't maybe see a speck and think it's on the inside. Or I've also had many a times where I see something and I think, oh, that's on the outside, so I don't have to worry about it. But then it turns out that it's on the inside, and I didn't really go after it thinking it was on the outside, and it ended up contaminating my install and caused me to start over again, which is something I will do right here live in this video. If I do happen to make a mistake, or I'm gonna go in this trunk real quick. I gotta take this light out, and this is an old-fashioned type of installation on this light. It's basically a couple 10mm bolts. You don't see this too much anymore. Now everything's clips. But I'm gonna just what is this? He's got, it's not bolts. It's a couple screws. I don't think those are the original bolts for that, but I'm gonna use a Phillips. Pop this out. I wanna Okay, that's interesting. All right, that's one screw. I not sure what's up with this. The screw's off on an angle here. I don't know. It's like it's stripped or something. It's always something. So we might have a little challenge here with this. Let's just see how this goes here. I'm not sure at the moment. And I know you can't see, so give me just a minute. I'm trying to unplug this light, and maybe I can slide this light out of the way. Actually, you can see the light, but it's like, okay, here we go. I don't think these are the original screws, first off. And it's like, it's, hang tight. All right, I don't think this is the original setup here, so it's gonna take me a minute. I'm just gonna pop this bulb out and leave this through and just leave that in place. And then this screw is like, I know it's not the factory stuff because it's going right through the deck, and it doesn't want to come out right. So that's that. That's out of the way. I want to get that out of the way. A lot of times, and there's a bunch of dog hair in there too. So that really does not excite me. So I'm going to grab a piece of film here, and I am going to clear. I got to find the right film here for this. I'm going to take an old piece of film, and I'm going to clean that dog hair out of there. And I'm going to use the film almost like you would use like a roller for your clothing. And I'm going to get that dog hair. And this is just a little trick I came up with over the years, that I'm using a scrap piece of film and I'm throwing this out anyways. So it works really well to get this dog hair out of the way. It's like a short-haired breed. I don't know what kind of dog it is, but when you bring your dog in your car, everything collects in this back window area. And so it's really not the most exciting thing for me, because it's hard to not get a contaminated piece of film when dog hair is present. So I'm just gonna kind of drag this film, because a lot of times, if you know how the dog hair behaves, it like it weaves itself into the fabric, into the carpet, and then it really doesn't want to come out easily. And so I'm going to have an extra difficult time dealing with this dog hair here. But it's part of the fun, eh? So if I just leave this alone, like the chances of it ending up in my install are very high. Some of these pieces that I can't get out because they're weaved into the fabric, they probably won't pose much of a threat to my install, but we're gonna do our best to just get all this, as much as we can, out of the way, especially what's loose. There's also a weird, like, he's got some of this fabric that this stuff is gonna get wet, and it's probably gonna want to slough off this plastic panel on the side. It's like typically that adhesive, and it's probably been on here for a while. It probably is like totally sunbaked now and just worthless, and it won't hold very well when the moisture comes in. I could take those panels out, but I'm not feeling too confident about doing that with this older setup, and I think I'm just gonna carefully go around those. And one of the things I have that can be helpful is my squeegee. I can fish some of this hair out of the way, try to like get it so it comes out of its little, and yeah, a lot of dry rotten sort of condition here. I have a good amount of room on the sides to slide the film in, and I'm a little nervous about these particular these type of seatbelt pieces are held in by like a torque 50, a bolt, and a lot of times they'll be rusted at this point. And this one's adjustable, and so I'm not. Let me see how this works out here. All right, let's tuck this in. Yeah, I don't know why anybody. Kid stuff, man. Kid stuff. And also, I mean, I'm doing this car at a pretty good discount. I'm not really trying to chase after a whole lot. But let me see here. All right, I'm able to kind of push that back, get myself a little more space. And then I got one more piece of film here to grab a little bit more in this area here. I kind of want to stick it down and just drag it over to the side a little bit and kind of try to hook that stuff. All right. I think that's pretty good. Now I'm also gonna try to push some of that down, get it below the edge, down in there, so the water, when I spray a little water, that'll rinse it down. It's just, man, it's a nightmare. A little bit more. I'm gonna work at it a little bit more. And there's a big hair from a female, I would imagine. So we're gonna continue to and I'm gonna evaluate. All right. I mean, I could charge more to take this apart. I mean, this is a kid at the dealership, and so I'm not. If I was to take these side panels out, this felt or whatever they have on here most certainly would probably be destroyed in the process. So I think what we'll do here is, that's pretty good. I think I can really carefully manipulate this film and get it in there without contaminating it. And so I got most of the hair that was in there on these particular pieces of tint. So we get that out of the way. And then I will do a little spray down, a little cleaning, and very careful rinsing, and we'll get this film in place, and we should be able to do that without contamination here. So just stay tuned. We shall see what we got. All right, so let's just see here. Let's do a thorough cleaning. I'm also on a car this old. I'm going to be looking for adhesive from stickers or anything like that that might pose a contamination issue for me as well. This process here, I'm getting below the edge there. I'm going to inspect my scrubby for any of that dog hair and get rid of it if I find it. It looks all right. But now I've scrubbed below that bottom edge and kind of driven anything that was there down, or brought it up on my scrub pad where I can remove it. So it's just another step in the process of sort of eliminating that dog hair there. And then I see what I got here, a couple pieces there. All right, we're gonna scrub with the pot scrubber. This will kind of knock the edges off the defroster lines a little bit. It's not really gonna sand them down or anything, but gives it a little bit better bite for the film. And it's gonna be, I'm gonna have to be really careful positioning the film though. And then I'm just kind of rub my hand over this. I want to look for any bumps or any spots where there was a sticker or something that I might want to put a little extra attention. Scrubbing feels pretty good. I'm gonna go over it one more time. And I'm feeling pretty confident with that. So I'm gonna wipe around the edges, give my squeegee a good clean place to start the squeegee process. I'm gonna be really extra careful not to rub too much on this fur that's on the side on these panels. I really just don't want to mess with that as much as I want to stay away from that as much as possible. I don't mind if it gets a little wet because it's gonna control any dust that might, poof or jump out of there as I'm working. So a little bit of moisture on those is good. It's not it wouldn't hurt any normal interior parts. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm really just detailing this rear deck area. And I'm gonna leave that little bottom there. I'm not gonna squeegee that. And I'm gonna rinse now. I'm gonna rinse down these sides, rinse them down. I'm gonna leave about the top edge so I don't agitate the headliner and get more dust in there. I'm just gonna rinse these down. It looks like somebody put Rain-X on the window, so there's yet another challenge being posed there. It's a little hard to position the film if it bites right away. The Rain-X gives it a sort of it makes it so the film wants to stick right away. So we'll see how that ends up. We should be all right. I'm just gonna wet my piece down and prepare it, do my reverse roll, and I'm gonna get it on the glass there. So hang tight. All right. Now I know if I carefully manipulate this piece, obviously if I'm rushing and making hasty maneuvers with the film, it's going to be more likely to get contaminated. But if I'm just kind of taking my time and really moving carefully, I should be able to get this in there without any hitches, and 99% of the time I'm able to do that. And so I'm going to put a little extra water down so I can have some movement. I'm going to expose the adhesive side of the film, and I'm going to get this piece in place here. All right, we're going to peel about half of it, and we're going to work half of it. Slide that in place. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this film underneath that panel there. So I first touched it down to the glass, and then once I had it, really intimately in place against the glass, then I can slide it behind that panel without worrying about getting any contaminants in there. And this is really, and a little bit of falling back there. We just want to be careful, take my time. I'm going to move the film that way. I'm having a little bit of a hitch because of that Rain-X. It wants the film to just stick right away, so that's another challenge. And you know, I could spend another hour trying to remove that Rain-X and a whole bunch of stuff. I won't make my money today, and I'll have a really hard time. And so we'll just deal with it. We'll take our time. We'll get that piece in place. When I'm looking around all the different edges on this particular back window, I want to make sure I don't have any light gaps, any portions of the window that are not covered. And I feel pretty good about the positioning we got. And I also feel pretty good that we got it in place and don't have to worry about any contaminants here. Now, if I get one dog hair, I'm going to rip this film off and start over again. But I'm feeling pretty good that that's not going to happen. So let's just see. One dog hair will do it. And the main area that I'm concerned with is this bottom portion. Looks so far so good. Not one speck of dust or anything that I can see. We're gonna squeegee this out this first initial time. Got a good clean corner there. That half is good. All right, we're gonna work this other half. And again, bottom section, I'm focusing on that. I want to make sure that's the area where the dog hair is likely to come into place, and it looks good. I got a good corner there. And we're good. We're in business. So I'm going to do one final squeegee with the water. Get out as much solution as I can. And this thing is popping out on me again. It's not going to affect my install at all now, but it's this fuzz or this faux fur, I guess you can call it, that this guy, whoever owned this car before, put on these panels. Typically when you do that, it ends up falling off on you later and coming off, and it creates a nightmare you got to deal with later on down the road. So there's really not too many adhesives that I feel confident about long term for something like that, but whatever. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get this bottom edge, and then I'm going to do another squeegee pass with a different squeegee, more of a dry squeegee. I'm going to dab and kind of take the moisture away from these side panels without really putting too much pressure on them. I'm going to dry this carpet here. So now this carpet, when I came in, it was all dusty, dirty, and dog hair and whatnot. And now I'm basically doing a good detail job on it. It's really nice and clean now. I'll sop up the majority of the moisture. The rest will dry out, no problem. And the rear deck is totally clean. And it's not much different from what an automotive detailer would do. They might use an extractor, but it's tough to get into this area with the angle of the glass there. I got the phone ringing, so I'm gonna answer this call. You can listen to that, I suppose. Joe, Rachel. Oh, brother. Okay, so that was some like telemarketing, calling about my car's extended warranty. I don't know if you guys have seen that scam going around, but I don't fall for it. They want to make you worry about your car's warranty, and it's like both my cars are brand new, and they're warranted by Honda, or Honda and Dodge. Anyway, all right, one more step here, two more steps here. I'm also going to use I'll hold it out so you can see it, but I'm just going to take a hard card and a paper towel like this. See that? And I'm going to sop up a little bit more water around the edges so it can't leak back under the film. And that'll help to dry and complete the job. It'll prevent any further contamination. And so I just want to get to the edge. That's good. Just go around the window. It's one extra step. Takes a few minutes, but it really helps to ensure a good clean install. All right. And whether or not this extra material keeps popping out here, it's just junk. All right, that's cool. Gonna hit that bottom edge with a different tool, similar, but it's got a little bit of a handle on it. And I'm just gonna hit this bottom edge. Just want to dry that out and just get the water, any moisture that I can away from the edge of the film. All right, and that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to do this other dry squeegee pass. Now this is just another card, kind of like a yellow. You can see it's like that. It's got a special tape on it. Just going to hit real quick and just get any remaining fluids, which typically is pretty good amount. I'm able to push pretty hard. There's a good amount of resistance against this card, so it'll further remove quite a bit of solution. It'll make it so the film dries faster and there won't be like an orange peel appearance during the drying process. So just worth doing, worth a few minutes extra time, and worth the time, worth the effort. All right. I'm gonna hit the bottom here. All right, and that's that. It's pretty good. Phone's ringing again. Let me see who this is. I may or may not answer. I'm not going to answer at the moment. Okay, cool. So that's done. So the next thing to do, and feeling pretty good about what we got here. Really turned out pretty clean. I got like a speck or two there, nothing major. I can iron that out. I'll spend a little time doing that. Still got the 2 viewers. Nobody said nothing, so that's cool. If you guys got any questions or whatever, just let me know. All right, that's ironed out. Basically just heating and crushing. Getting the air out of the way. Just if you got a little speck, it's usually not real big, thick, kind of. Think of dust, you could think of like sand, very gritty and a big piece, or just like a small, very fine piece of whatever's normally floating around in the air. If you get 1 or 2 of those, you can just heat those up and crush the air out, the moisture in the air, and smooth it out and make it invisible. And I guarantee you, very common practice for a window tinter. And it's just that last final step that I may take out here. I got like a little mark here I'm gonna hit. I got a little mark that's right on the line. And I made a little cut there so the air could come out. And just give it a little heat, work that up toward the line so it disappears. These are the kind of things, like, if I don't deal with them right now, when they dry, day or two from now, you'll be able to see them. So if I just deal with them right now, generally they'll be invisible forever. I'm just gonna hit a couple spots right here. It looks like there's some kind of this car is old. I mean, this is a 15-year-old car. So nothing major. Couple little spots there that I just want to iron out. And they are good. They are good. So, I'm going to hit right there and right there, and then I'll be done. Where is that? Here we go. Just a little touch up. Make sure that what we have is a good finished install. So now I feel good with that. Turned out good. She looks good. All right, cool. So let's see. I'm going to head over this way. I'm going to cut some film. There's the computer that you're getting the stream from. But I'm going to do some film cutting and some film prepping for the side windows. So hang tight and check that out. All right. So I'll set this up so you can see little film prep on the board. And see what we got here. I'm gonna do shaved edges on these windows for this guy here. So it really is a nice looking install. We'll see what the patterns are like. If they're really, really tight, I may just go with the micro edge, like a 1/16 of an inch. Pretty common. If I don't like how the pattern, sometimes these windows don't have the exact shape all the time, so I may end up shaving them to make them really look nice, but we'll see what we get here. Just kind of doing a little extra service for the kid here. So put it over here so you guys can see the pieces as I prep them out. And we'll weed out the extra material and get these pieces ready to install. I am going to shrink the bottoms because we're going to be dealing with, I'm not going to need to take the panels off of this door. So we'll shrink the bottom of the actual pieces of film so that when I put them behind the door gaskets on the doors, that they won't want to vacuum and suck moisture up. If I do not shrink them, they will end up wanting to suck moisture up from behind the gasket, and they will also bring any dirt or contaminants that are behind that gasket with, and it'll end up contaminating the film. So we don't want that. But anyways, we're gonna weed this excess material out. So we're using a plotter and we're cutting pieces for the car from the software database. We're using Film and Vinyl Designs. You can check them out online. It's basically like subscribing to a magazine subscription or something. I get all the new patterns for all the new vehicles, and patterns are in there when I need them. So 99% of the cars that I do are done with computer patterns, which is cool. They're usually very nice, very precise, and very consistent. Although cutting by hand is sometimes better, which surprises people. These patterns are generally cut by hand and scanned into the computer and made a part of the database. So, and then from there they'll adjust them and make them perfect if they need to. Some are, I think, made a different process, but I'm not certain how that process works. I think there's actually a computer generated pattern nowadays. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to smooth these pieces out, and then I'm going to squeegee them down. I'm going to go ahead, shrink these out, and just get the bottom edges kind of contoured a little bit. Whether or not it needs it, it doesn't matter. It needs it because the gaskets are on, and what it'll do is it'll tighten up that bottom area, so when I install it, it'll want to naturally, in a better way, adhere to the glass faster, and then I won't have to worry about contaminants or moisture coming back up from the bottom. Takes an extra 5 minutes or less and leads to a better install, so no big deal. We'll just do it. It's very much the same as how I shrunk the back window. Now I got that dry behind there, and I'm just gonna kind of squeegee down the ends, and now I got a pocket in the middle that I can shrink. And it's kind of hard for you to see, but the other one will be better. So yeah, if you just tuning in, check out the website. You can check us out, filmproficient.com. What else we got? We got facebook.com/filmproficient. I post up a lot of stuff there. I've been posting up stuff on Instagram recently as well. So you can go there and check us out. I think that one's Film Pro. Not sure, but if you search Film Pro, you'll find it. Now what I'm going to do is just pop this off the glass and just see what the edge looks like and see if it needs a little bit more, which I think it does. Typically I'll do, they call this a double snap. I'm basically tightening up that edge even further and making sure that it's all shrunk really nice. So this is the double snap technique, if you want to get technical. I'm sure not too many people do, but I have another channel that I have some people that may be watching from that channel. It's more of a how-to channel. I really don't mix the two, especially with this business channel. So I got some people from that channel maybe watching on this channel, but this channel is really more about my business and finding potential, new customers and showing people what I do. I got a little bit more on this one, like I share a little bit about paint protection film, and which is awesome. Got a video that I'm about done with. I probably have it up in the next couple of weeks. Anytime I have to edit, it takes a while because I got so many other things going here. But all right, so this side's done. Now this side you should be able to see a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit. Anyways, I got a car that I did ceramic coating, paint protection film on, a nice Jaguar. And so I made a time-lapse video of that. The editing's almost done, so I'll probably have that up soon. Really a nice car. And I did a full-blown paint correction and ceramic coating, paint protection film. I had the car for a few weeks, and it really turned out nice. So share that when it's available. And once this is done here, I'll move that camera and show a little bit about how I'm going to install these pieces and how I'm going to, if I'm going to do the shaved edges or not. I'm not certain on it yet. I may. Okay. All right, and that should be good for those. And we will continue on here. So then the next step is to clean. Now I'm just going to keep this camera over here, and I'll get a little closer in on these when it's time to install. But let me turn that a little bit. That'll work. When it's time to install those pieces there, first thing I'm going to do is I see there's a few stickers. I'm just going to get rid of those real quick. These are probably really sun-baked and brittle. They're coming off. So I'm just going to kind of get behind them with a razor blade and gently rock back and forth. And kind of shave them off, if you will. All right. Cool with that. I mean, these have been in the sun for 15 years, so you got to kind of finesse them out of the way. So that's cool. Got that out. None on the other side. We're good there. All right, cool. So get my window cleaning supplies here. And bottles are empty. All right. I will fill these bottles up. Why not? First thing I'm going to do is let the air out of these. The pressure inside the bottle gives it it's a little tougher to get the tops off. There's a lot of different methods people use. Some of the shops, they got like one big bottle with hoses going around, and I really just kind of like the maneuverability of these good old-fashioned poly sprayers. I've been using these for 27 years, so I got to get my hands a little drier here. They're really on there good to hold that seal and to hold that pressure in there. So pop it open. And then we're going to just kind of go through a process. I got the reverse osmosis water here. So my solution's clean and contaminant free. And so I'm going to start out by really rinsing that bottle out. And then I'm going to run that reverse osmosis water and let that fill. And the name of the game here is just to have super, super clean water. And we're going to do that by thoroughly rinsing every part of the inside of the bottle down, filling the bottle up with triple filtered water, and making sure we got no contaminants in the water that way. This is basically a filtration system for drinking water. And then a couple squirts of soap. Then I'm going to rinse the inside of the pump out and kind of wash it down. Make sure that I got that all cleaned out. Even soap residue, we're going to get that out of there. And then it's ready to go back on the bottle. So basically in this sink, I got two separate faucets. One for rinsing purposes and then one for filling in the solution. And let's go ahead and rinse this one off. That's good. Got to think about all the different aspects of this. We want to make sure that water's clean, because you can have a contaminated bottle. I've had in the past where my bottle has got like calcium buildup or whatever, and it'll make it so you can't get a clean window. So here, I'm gonna bring this down and see here. What do we got? Is that a good shot? Yeah, it's not bad. Here, I'll put it up here. You can see from this angle, I can't go too far because I'm limited by the cord here. So let me move this computer a little bit, and that way the cord will be long enough, and that way you can get a good shot of that install there. All right, we're gonna do much the same here. I don't even want to put my scrubbies down in this car because I see there's some dog hair on the seat, on the floor, and I don't even want to pick up a dog hair on my scrubby pad, so I'm not gonna fiddle with that. Just get the pressure up in the bottle, and we're gonna put a little solution on there. First thing I'll do is scrub. Just the same process. It's very ritualistic, I guess you could say. I'm gonna do the same little key things that I know help me to produce good results. I'm gonna use this pot scrubber, and that's gonna really help to break up anything that may be there. I'm gonna feel the surface of the glass, look for some adhesive or bumps, paint, welding splatter, anything like that, and it feels good. It really feels as though these windows are clean. I'm gonna run my knife blade behind this gasket a little bit. I'm gonna put a little pressure on the window and just see if I shave anything off from back there, and it looks good. So I think we're pretty good with that. Pretty straightforward windows. I mean, they shouldn't be too difficult to install. It's not like, a regular door panel where I got a gasket in the way or all the way around. So pretty easy to just bomb drop the film in there. I know I can put a little pressure on the glass, slide this bottom edge down below the gasket, and really come up with a pretty clean install. I want to see what kind of edges. I should be pretty tight on the edging. I just did one of these a few weeks ago, and it really came out tight and clean. So I think we should be good here. All right. Yeah, I'm able to. That's the thing, is these windows are oftentimes. Yeah, see, this is a little bit different shape on this one. So I'm not even going to use these patterns because they're short. Yeah, I'm not even going to use, so I got to start all over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see about the front ones. These windows oftentimes, they're not always consistently shaped. So I just don't like the size of the pattern. So I'm gonna have to oversize those in the computer. I'm gonna take a peek at this particular window here and see if it's the same. The front ones might be okay, and I might only have to deal with the back ones in a different way. So I'm gonna clean and see about these real quick, and I might just cut new patterns for all of them. It's one of the things you got to deal with, and it's not a big deal. It's gonna set me back a few minutes, no biggie. I'd rather get a good clean install, a good professional install. I couldn't even, there was about a 1/4 inch short on the one side, so I don't want to skip no steps. Feel for contaminants. Feels good. I'm gonna razor scrape behind the gasket. The other one I did the other day was a 08, so just once in a while I run into just patterns that just need a little bit of manipulation as far as the size goes. So let's just see here for this front one. I might be in better shape, but I may have to oversize these as well. It's part of the fun, man. We're making live videos so people can see exactly what it takes and what we're willing to do to make it right. So let's just see here. This one seems to be a good. Doesn't want to maneuver. All right, careful. I'm having a hard time with this particular panel. It doesn't want to get behind there, so I'm gonna carefully pull that back and slide it down. All right. Yeah, this one's good. Okay. But I got an issue here with this. It wants to stick. All right. There we go. So now, all right, we'll get that out of there. And I'm just gonna get a little more moisture behind there. It's wanting to stick on me. And I want to make sure I get this position just right. All right. Yeah, I want that edge to be really nice, really tight. And so just gonna take the extra moments to make sure it's just right. And it's that Rain-X kind of whatever anti-fog chemical I can feel on the glass here. So that feels good. Let's see here. Now after all that manipulation, we want to make sure that we got a clean finish. And I got about a 1/16 of an inch gap here, which is about what I want to see. The job does not come without a little stress and a little bit of testing, that's for sure. And use the right tools to get behind there, get behind this gasket. I want to get all that moisture away. I want to be really careful down in here in this corner. And it doesn't want doesn't want to squeegee down into there really easy, so I'm really going to be careful. What I don't want to happen is I don't want that corner to crease, and it's really like right now. There we go. I had to pull the rubber back in the corner and really focus on a smooth squeegee stroke in that area because it really wanted to bunch up there, and it was because the rubber was kind of just really tight, and it seems to be good now. So I got a good edge, good clean tight uniform edge all the way around, and I'm just wanting now to make sure that I get a good squeegee pass and get all the moisture away from this bottom edge, which I feel pretty good about right now. And I think these front two, the patterns are good, so I just need to oversize these rear door pieces. And yeah, we got dog hair just all over the place. Nothing behind the film, luckily. Wouldn't be surprised if I end up having to redo one window because of that here. But all in all, that piece that came out good. It's clean. It's dry all the way around, so that one's good. All right, back to the drawing board on the rear window patterns here. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do as far as the camera goes. I'm gonna let this sit right here for a moment, and you can look at the car. This other rear pattern, that's junk. All right, one viewer dropped out, sayonara. Give me 1 second here. All right, I'm back. All right, so give me a minute here. I'm gonna adjust these pieces and recut these rear windows. Let's see here. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna use my sizing tool. And I'm gonna just oversize these a bit, and then recut them, reshrink them, and we should be good. It's just the way it is. Sometimes it's not a perfect science. Sometimes you need to improvise, and it tends to be on the older cars. Like in 2003, this is a 2003, so we're talking about probably when using a plotter and patterns for tinting a car like this had probably just gotten to be a thing, just came around. So these older patterns, they're not usually always perfect. So you got to be on your toes, and you got to be ready to do some adjusting and get them set up the way you need them. So we'll be back in business here in just a minute. And then we'll see what we got. Now I think I oversized it by about a 1/2 inch, which should be more than enough. But let's see. All right, squeegee them down, get them shrunk up. I think I'll do these. I'll do that side there, and then maybe we'll wrap this video up. I don't know. We'll see. What the heck? I'm not going anywhere, I guess. If I got people watching, I might as well keep her going. I got cords laying everywhere. All right. Kind of try to position myself here so you can see a little bit. I mean, you can't see close up, but I'm just doing the same thing. Basically, I'm waving the heat over the area of the film that's kind of popped off the glass, and it shrinks, it snakes up, it shrinks, and the positioning goes from vertical to horizontal. And once it's completely horizontal, then I know it's shrunk up good. I can squeegee it down. And then the film has a tendency to kind of not completely shrink all the way to the edge. Yet, when you squeegee it down, it stays down as long as there's no moisture present. But I want to double snap this or make sure that it's actually shrunk good at the bottom. So when the moisture is present, it won't suck back up under the film. Give it a little pre-shrink there before I squeegee the ends down. Just take my time. Get it dialed in. I heard a door close. I gotta check my schedule. I'm not sure if I got another car coming. I don't think so. No, not at the moment. So cool with that. All right, let's give this another whirl here. I'll move this so you can see again. And we'll put this here. We'll close that up. And see if we can get a good something I'm happy with on this one. All right. Just gonna rinse down again. Get behind the gasket there, rinse that down. And this piece is most certainly gonna need probably a little shaving. We'll see. But now that I've manipulated the size, it's probably not gonna have a good edge at the top anymore. So I'll have to, more than likely, I'll have to. And it's like it didn't really change it that much. Yeah, unbelievable. It's no good. No good. I don't know why, but it didn't change it. So I'm gonna have to readjust that better. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Patience. Patience. I'm gonna you know what I'll do? I'll cut them by hand. So you can see how that works. I'll cut them by hand. We'll hand cut them. All right. You can check that out and see how you like that. Then they'll be completely perfect. I thought I oversized them, but I guess I didn't. I don't know what happened there. So it really didn't seem to change in size much at all. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the bottom gasket, and I'm going to trim that so we got a nice perfect bottom gasket edge. And then I'm going to bring the edge down as much as I want it to be behind the gasket, so about a 1/2 inch. And then I am going to squeegee the piece down. And then once the piece is squeegeed down, it's really very simple. I'll do a little trimming on the glass, but I'm going to hold a consistent blade angle as I go around, just so I have a really nice uniform clean edge. Kind of want to hold the film tight so the blade passes real nice and gentle. All right. And that's absolute perfection right there. So it takes an extra second. Now this piece will be totally perfect and I won't need to adjust at all. It'll fit in there really, really nice. And we'll do a test run. We'll do a test run. I'm just gonna real quick off camera get this completely set up. I'm gonna round the corners out so that they don't have a tendency to peel. Rounded corners will kind of give a blunt edge so they won't catch on the gasket or door panel areas or anything like that. So that's cool. And let's just see what we got here. I'm gonna have to shrink this again. And just part of the fun when you work on an older vehicle. If I was doing, you know, a brand new car, my patterns are solid on those. I don't have to worry about anything when I'm doing that, but as we're dealing with an older car here, and I don't do these every day, and I'm not accustomed to this pattern set, you gotta sometimes do some adjustments on the fly. And hang tight. Just doing the old shrink, taking up a little bit of the slack. for the third time. But, you know, it's got to be right, man. We're not just slapping pieces on, that's for sure. I got to be happy with what I'm putting out, and that's that. So we're going to take the precautions, and it's probably not the most exciting video that you've watched. But maybe it is. Maybe it's a little more entertaining to see real time. I'm going to grab a new towel. This one's soaked. One second. All right, man, here we go. Now that I'm going to dry this a little better so I can see what I'm doing. But now this inside piece is obviously clean. I cleaned it 3 times, so I'm just going to spray it down, rinse behind the gasket, and I should be 100% now. We should be gold, solid gold with this piece. And that's the thing. Sometimes the computer pattern isn't the best, man. It's not always the best way. And then you got to have some real world tint skills to fall back on. So I got, there we go. And in fact, this particular, all right, what I'm going to do now, because I cut it on the outside, it is in fact actually a little bit oversized. So what I'm going to do is a little trick. I'm going to shave off this edge here. And then I slid the piece forward a little bit before I did this little shaving business. And so now I'll be able to slide back just a touch, and I'll have an absolute perfect edge all the way around, about a 1/16 of an inch. And that is going to be, that is good enough for a final product, as long as we don't have any contaminants. I mean, you know, when it rains, it pours. So when you're dealing with something like this, I wouldn't be surprised if I have a dog here now. And that's just how the things work. It's like everything comes down all at once. But it looks good. And I can't really show you this gap all the way around on the camera. It's not going to pick it up, but it's absolutely stunningly perfect. Stunningly beautiful, I should say. So I'm good with that. I could have actually took a little sliver of film off on the board over there, but quite honestly, because I don't hand cut all that much anymore, I didn't think of it. So the shaving on the glass here was impromptu, and doesn't matter. It came out perfect, totally perfect. So I'm not worried about that. And this is literally an absolutely perfect micro edge. I'm going to go over it one more time here and just make sure I don't have any orange peel on this particular one. Hit that bottom edge. I could have cut 2 pieces as well off that one pattern, but now I got 2 really nice windows done. And so you got to see that. There's really no reason to have close-ups now. So I think what I'm going to do is just set this back up here, finish this car out. You're welcome to hang out if you like. Not probably. Bear with me on the camera shaking around here. I'm just going to put this back up here on top of the thing and get it up high. And that's going to be about it for that. If you want to hang out and check it out, by all means, feel free. I am just going to go ahead now from a distance, work on the rest of these. And you got a good angle. You can see pretty good. That'll work out. So then what I want to do here is I'm going to cut this one by hand as well, because I want this one to be the same as that one. Well, I want them all to be the same, basically. That's what I got. I got a good uniform edge going, and I feel really good about the end result. And so that's the name of the game, right? I want to make sure what I got is professional. And this car's coming along. It's really looking good. It's changing the look really nice. It's going to be exactly what the customer was looking for. And I'm happy with it. As long as I'm happy with it 90% of the time, 95% of the time, maybe even better odds than that. 95% of the time the customer's happy. Sometimes I deal with people that are certain that they're going to be ripped off, so they find things to complain about. I'm not here to rip people off and, try to do poor quality work, so you don't have to get that defensive posture with me. But I do find that people do that. So part of human nature, I guess. All right. All right. Simple as that. All right. Then I'm going to put this up. I can swing that over. And this one, I can show you. I can take some off on the board and show you that method. So what I'll do, there's a little trimming to be done on that one then, and now that little bit of trimming I did on that piece, I can just take a little straight edge and take a little tiny chunk off. I don't want to take too much off. I think right about there is just right. Want to make sure I keep a consistent amount from the top to the bottom. All right. And it didn't cut all the way through. So let me snap off a new blade and just go over that little section again. All right, there we go. Then that leaves me with a little trimming, a little corner rounding, top edge, bottom edge. Bottom edge here, that won't be visible, but I still want to have that rounding just so it doesn't want to catch and peel. It's a little precautionary measure. Cool, that's that. Just a couple quick windows to do and we will be done with this car. Switch that around so you can see a little bit, and grab up my Now, I think, yeah, I don't think I didn't clean this side yet. So, I'm going to go ahead and just tackle that real quick. I think I thought I was going to just do that side and then end the video, but that wasn't the case, I guess. So, let me go over these real quick. All in all, these windows were really nice and clean. I don't think this car was ever tinted. I'm not seeing any adhesive residue or anything like that, so pretty good there. Being that they're frameless, they're really easy to clean. Just a couple scrub passes and a squeegee, and it's ready for installation. We'll do these two windows here, finish up this car, and we'll call it a wrap. We'll call it a day. All right. Run that blade behind the gaskets. And that should do it. Cool. All right. Put that back. Do the old rinse down. Get behind the gasket. And we're ready to throw this piece in. Well, at least I got to demonstrate a little hand cutting there. I could probably do a video just hand cutting. I guess I don't get too excited about that because it's like extra work and it takes extra time, and I'm usually just would like to do the fastest, most professional job possible. But these particular two windows just were not adequate. Yeah, very nice. So there we go. Really nice, clean. Nice, clean, tight 1/16 of an inch gap all the way around. Real uniform. Real nice. Completely satisfied with that, as will the customer be. You know, 1/8 inch, that's not bad. 1/16 to an 1/8 inch is pretty good as far as, gap or edge around the window. But when you get any bigger than that, it's like, nah, that's not gonna go. All right. All right. Almost there. I do have a little bit of trim that I think I'm going to do here. I'm going to wait until the window's dry. Maybe not. Little shaven. Oh, I said I would wait until it was dry, but then I went and shaved it anyways. It turned out it's fine. A little bit more risky when it's wet. You might move the film and actually cut the film a little deeper than you want to, and you know, probably should have just waited, but it turned out. That would have just meant that I would have had to start over again on that window for the 4th time. I'm sure that would be entertaining. Maybe even for my competition that might be watching my videos, but obviously I don't care. I'm not sure why you wouldn't make videos, but people like videos. All right, that's good. Yeah, the customers love the videos. I get nothing but comments. I get people that come in, they find me on Google, they come in, yeah, I watched all your stuff. Cool. Then you know, and those particular people, they know who they're dealing with before you. It's like I'm meeting a stranger, but it's like they already know me. You know what I mean? So it's really a nice tool. It's a nice way to, you know, kind of showcase who you are and what you're doing, and people like it. They like to see you working on their particular kind of car. And so that's what this is about. I found out people like that, and I'm just going to do cars periodically and share. I got to redo my website. I got to put some of these videos right on my website. So people like that. All right, cool. That looks good. All right, man. So I got these side windows done. The car's looking good. It's got a whole new look to it. Oh, I got nervous there. I seen a bunch of stuff on the back window. I was like, what? I thought it was contaminants, but it was just like a little overspray from probably when I cut the window there. So cool, man. It turned out good. It looks good. I'm going to cut her short there. Film Pro, filmproficient.com. If you have a particular need, or there's a particular car that you're looking to do, or you want me to work on, I should say, let me know. I got a little something I got to deal with here. So I'm going to do this before I let you go, but I'm going to keep yapping. If you guys are in the market for window tinting, then there was a little, like, I don't know what that is, but there was a little, some sort of contaminant there. So yeah, if you're in the market for tinting, check out the website, filmproficient.com, facebook.com/filmproficient, Instagram. It's like, I think it's like Film Pro at Waukesha is the name there. But if you just search Film Pro, you'll find it. And yeah, this edge got a little close. I think what happened was the edge got a little close, and then I'm gonna have to do a little filing on this one, but I think I bumped it, and it was a little close to the edge, so it moved the edge. So no biggie, we got that handled. And then there was like something that fell behind the film, like a little chunk of silver. I think when I wiped the window, actually, I moved the edge. So I want to make sure I didn't do that again. Nope, there's like some kind of funky stuff on the outside. That's gone. Cool. All right, that should be good. So, all right, guys, appreciate you watching. And if you have questions, feel free, comment, or just message me on Facebook or something. Glad you guys watched. Hope you got some value out of that. And we will see you in the next video. All right. Take care.